Hello everyone, it's Lorelei, and I would like to welcome you and me back to my creative space here at Lorelei Designs. You know, it's been 8 months since I made a video for you, and so I'm kind of rusty, and I have a lot of things I want to tell you. So I made these dandy cards so I wouldn't miss anything. I want to start out, the first thing I want to say is thank you. Thank you for turning out for our sale. It's been so long, I can't imagine it would have run this long, but here we are, all this time later. And I want to say it was just kind of crazy from the start. We got overwhelmed and hardly ever got caught up. So I want to apologize for those longer deliveries, and I want to thank you for your patience through this time. I also want to say thank you, especially to you ladies who took the time to write me an email and send me pictures and say nice thoughts about how you will miss me and you love my designs and all that. I just love it. Just really warms my heart. I thank you. Thank you for those. They really lift my heart. So during this time, I've been behind the scenes making the emails for the sale to keep you up on the sales. And I just think, and I think, gee whiz, with every sold out sale, you know, my heart would just crack a little bit. And I think, I'm not sure I'm ready to just totally hang this up yet. So I began to think and try to scheme and figure out how I could do something that would just maybe keep one foot in it, you know, at a smaller scale. So I came up with an idea, and I want to share that with you in this video. Now, this is a post-import fabric, a post-tariff, and a post-retirement idea for this season coming up. And I think it's a good idea, and I hope that you will like it too. So what we've decided to do is leave the website up. We're going to put all the embroidery back up, so you'll have that to choose from. And I'm going to put some fabric up, and I want to talk to you about that fabric in this video. So I've decided to list my designs on Spoonflower. Now, some of you may be familiar with Spoonflower. I've used them for years. In fact, I would, while I was waiting for a big shipment to come from overseas, I would get a quick delivery from them so that I can make my samples for the videos ahead of time. So I've done business with them for many years and have always had a good experience. So I hope that you will too. And what they are is an online, digital, domestic printing company in North Carolina. So the goods are made here and will come directly to you from them. The first question, of course, is the quality. Now, it's very similar. It's 100% cotton. It is a little different because Spoonflower is a marketplace for fabric, wallpaper, and home decor. So the whole environment has a little different ilk. It's not like the quilt business exactly, but it's very similar. And don't we just love fabric anywhere we find it? So I find that their printing and the color and the hand is adequate for my designs, and not exactly the same, but we were really spoiled by that beautiful work that came out of South Korea before. But this is another time, and it was time to do that. And so now we're not having to keep huge amounts of inventory and all that went with that. So I'm glad to have this alternative. And another thing that's available on Spoonflower is you have the option of printing it in 30 different fabrics. Yes, isn't that crazy? It's like you're buying the design and you put it on a canvas or satin or chiffon. And so that brings us to the next question, which of course is cost. And it is more because it is domestic. And you know, the tariffs were coming home to roost at our house, and we would have had to absorb that loss also. So it was just time to make this change. So the cost is more, but then they do run sales. Initially, their regular price on their petal cotton, they call it, is $20 a yard. But they do run sales quite often and take off 25 to 30%, which really helps. So if you're strategic about it, you could work with that. And then it gets down closer to what our cost was at almost $13. And then we had the tariffs coming down the pike. So that's the subject of the cost. And another thing I would say is I have tried to a design in a way that makes that yard of fabric have great value. So for instance, our old panel was 42 wide by 24 high. This panel is 42 by 36. So it's a larger canvas for me to work on, and I can do different things with it. Also, I'm just utterly liberated because I don't have to order all that inventory. So if I think up some kooky idea that I just want to share with you, and it won't have a great volume, it's okay because I can put it up and it doesn't require all that support that the shipments from offshore did. So I'll tell you how it works. The fabrics from the Spoonflower designs are on our fabric right on the front of the page. It says, excuse me, Lorelei's Spoonflower Fabrics, and the other button, the sale rack, will remain the same, and that will be our older fabrics as they continue to sell out. So you can browse on our site and look at all those designs, and then when you're interested, you can click on one and that will redirect you to the Spoonflower site, and you'll go instantly over there for their sales page, which will give you the information on the costs, the types of fabrics that you have for a choice, and for the description, which I've written descriptions for each of these. And then you can click right back. You can go right back to my site if you like, or you can stay and look at all of it in the Spoonflower Lorelei Designs shop. It's kind of like having a shop on Etsy or something. So my designs will all be listed there. So I hope that this will appeal to you. Oh, and also they will ship it. Then they ship from there in about 2 or 3 days from receipt of the order, and then the shipping time. So I've found within 5 to 10 days, I get my shipments very regularly. So I've been happy with that. So what will I list? That is the next thing. Well, I call that something old, something new. And I'll start out by showing you the very first design that I went to. When I got this idea, I thought, oh my gosh, I wonder if I can do that. And I thought, this is the first one I want to work with and see what happens. This is this dear old collection of mine called Lady Cats. Aren't they cute? Now, a lot of you have probably seen this. It goes back to about 2008 or so. So they just never get old, and they're always charming and have their style. So in the case of this 42 by 36 panel, I have put the original panel on the top, which is 2 rows of 10-inch, great big beautiful 10-inch Lady Cats. And then I had 12 more inches on the bottom to work with, so I made a pillow. There's a nice 12 by 12 inch cut and sew pillow there. You could just cut that out and stitch in the ditch around those borders and make yourself a dandy pillow. And I also did a row of 4-inch cute little portrait blocks, would be like a coaster or something. Or you could build them out, make a pot holder, make a mug rug, stuff like that. And then there's row of bows, and also a row of these cute little rectangular blocks. So that's how much you get in your yard of the Lady Cats collection, for instance. So I just think it's a dandy layout. I really had fun doing it, and I want to show you too, of course, we are going to return all the embroidery to the site, and this, of course, is the beautiful Lady Cat embroideries. So that's the first thing I'm doing, and that's a kind of a regular thing where I would do that with a regular panel and other stuff. Now this here is something new. We're still on the something old, something new theme here. So this is something old, which is my familiar flamingos. But I thought, how fun is that? There's room on this 36-inch panel to do some fun things. So here we have an apron. We have some blocks to make coasters, little blocks. We have some 2 strips to make towels, and we have 3 pot holders. We have the binding for the apron. So let me show you how those came out. This is the apron. Isn't that cute? And then these are the little coaster blocks. There were 3 4-inch and 3 5-inch. I think is what came out. I just tried to squeeze squeeze everything I can out of that yard. Here are the pot holders. Those would be 6 by 6. Of course, they can be anything, but this is what I have done with them. And then these dandy little towel strips. Aren't those just the most fun things? Great gifts. So with that one panel, you can make all that stuff. Then I have another great flamingo themed panel, and this I call a pillow panel. Oh gosh, you know how I like to make pillows, right? So like so, cute little pillows like this, and like so, with that fun color flare around the edges. Here it is right here in this pillow panel for you to just cut and sew. There's that pillow right there, the whole thing. Cut that out, the big square there. I think it's a 14 or 16, maybe a 16-inch pillow, which is standard. And then you sew between the strips, put a little backing on there, and sew between the stitches, or backing and batting, in order to complete and to come up with a pillow like this. So here's another big one like that. A couple of rectangular ones. So there's an assortment of about 10 or 11 different pillows on there. And of course, they're just big, giant, beautiful blocks that you can use for anything in any of your projects, and spark your creativity with that. And then we'll be bringing back the flamingo embroidery, of course. These are those beautiful embroideries in the flamingo collection. So that's what I'm going to be doing going forward. And I thank you for coming to see this video. I hope that this idea will work for you, and that you'll go over there and check them out, and that I'll see you over in my Spoonflower store. And we can continue on down the creative road together for another season. So thanks again for coming. And by the way, I have something old, something new. Something new is brewing in my head, and I will keep you praised of those by email and in videos to come. So I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for coming. Bye.